time travel does not change the past. Yes, you hear me right. And I'm going to say this with a lot of confidence, boy. So, first, I'm going to give you a single fact, and I want you to apply this at every single time travel type of stuff that you know. So, first, timeline is one dimensional. Let's just imagine that this is a line. This is your present at the middle, which is you right now. Then to the right is your future self. This is the future. And to the left, it's your past. Well, everybody knows that. So how can it just denies every form of changing the past? Well, I want you to imagine again that this is you right now. It means that this, somewhere here, is your future self. Let's imagine that this is you right now. This is your future self. Then to the left, there's your past self. And you already know that your past self is doing what you already did. Okay? That's a basic fact everybody knows. But if you think about it, like, this is your future self. If we decide to look at his perspective, you will realize that this, which is you right now, is just a past self to this future self. It means that you are doing what your future self has already did. Okay, I want you to keep that fact in mind, because if you forget, it's going to be causing a severe confusion. Trust me. Just know that you right now is doing what your future self has already did. Like that. I want you to memorize that, since you know that it's a fact, right? So now let's put this on a grandfather paradox. So the grandfather paradox tries to change the past by simply killing your grandfather to prevent your own birth. So let's just put ourselves in a grandpa's perspective. Let's just say this is the assassination attempt. This is where you try to go to the past. Whoop, like that. Okay? So to the grandpa perspective, life is just normal. It just goes. Then here, if you apply that fact, that single factual fact, you'll realize that he is trying to be assassinated by your future self. Why? Because that's what you are trying to do. But you trying to do is already did by your future self. Remember that. So when you try to kill your own grandfather, right here, you try to kill him, it fails. Why? Because you try to prevent your own birth by simply killing him, let's just say before he could give birth to your mother. Let's imagine that. Like, go here, boom, no, you will fail. You will always fail. Because if you think about it, let's just say here is where you're born. This is where your mama is born. Here, of course, your grandpa has to go to this point of timeline to give your mama born. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I'm bad at English, I'm sorry. And your mom, you both go here. That's your born. You go here, like that. So if you go back to the past, try to kill him, you will fail. Why? Because at your current timeline, your grandpa literally lived through the assassination attempt. So if you try to do that, you will fail because your future self had already failed, which resulting in you born. So your own birth is literally a proof that the assassination attempt of your grandpa is failed. The main problem with the grandfather paradox is that it doesn't include the future. It just says like Your past self is doing what you already did. It just doesn't care about the future. Since if you think about it, if you apply that fact again, you'll realize that what we have right now is because of our future self doing to the past. Yet either they try to change anything or they simply can't. What I mean by can't is that they just fail, they suck at it. And let's try to apply that fact again, right here. So I wish for a time travel from the future anywhere, a million, a billion years later, I don't care, to go here and meet me. No, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. It means that the future had failed to come here. Even if we try, even if we go to the future like normally, like that, and try to the past, it will fail because I simply know it fails. Look at this, there's nobody here. The future had failed, and it means that if your future had failed, you are going to just fail because of that fact that said you are doing what your future self has already did. It means that if your future self had failed, you will eventually fail too. Yes, you can literally apply this on everything, even on a Marvel movie or something like that. But I don't really like messing with the movie because there's something called time stone that is obviously fiction, and yeah, I don't want to mess the fun of it. So yeah, that simply is. Then you might be asking, what if I do damages? Well, if you do damages, well, you can. In fact, let's just put this on a grandpa perspective again. This is your assassination time again. In order for you to succeed, your future self must succeed first. So this is your future self. Boom! Your grandpa has broken a leg, but he's still going. Your mother is born. You are born. It keeps going like that until you right here will do exactly what your future self has already did. You try to go back to your past self grandpa and assassinate him, but you just broken a leg instead. And you might be asking again, if I know that I'm going to fail, why would I try to do it? Well, it's because I don't know. So basically, if you put that question to your future self perspective, you will realize that your future self had thought the same. Because you are knowing what your future self had already known. Your future self had known that his future self had failed the assassination attempt. Yet your future self is still doing it. So it means that there is something that you don't know. You will have to go to that point of life in order for you to realize what the reason is. Your future self had thought the same. Why would I try to kill when my future self failed? Well, that's the reason. Eventually, you will do the same and broke a leg of your past self grandpa, and your past self will eventually go to the point of here and ask again, if I know I'm going to fail, why would I try it? Yet he still do it because of the reason that you know, because you already passed it. Hope you are not confused, but just know that a single fact: you are doing what your future self had already did. That's how simple it is. Then you might be asking, if I try to change a little bit, such as the butterfly effect, You know the butterfly effect? The butterfly effect is an effect that is created when you change a minor thing on the past, such as just kicking a rock, like the meme, time travel kicking a rock. You know that meme? Yeah. Then it says you're going to change a major thing in the future somewhere. Well, no, dumbass, it won't. Because if the time travel goes here and then you just kick a rock like that, it means that our timeline, there's a future self, there's a future of the time traveler had gone to our timeline and also kicked a rock. Then the time travel goes here, he goes back, kick a rock. So we just keep going. Your past self, you right now, your future self, your father future self, your father past self. Everyone had time traveler that kicked a rock like that. So if everyone got the butterfly effect, it means that we are all just the same. But if we are all just the same, it doesn't change anything. If it doesn't change anything, there's no butterfly effect. There's no butterfly effect, my friend. And in fact, I'm not even using any reason that is out of our comprehend. Like the universe is defending itself, or if we change the past, it just create a new multiverse. No, I'm not using any of that. I'm just using a single fact that says you are doing what your future self has already did. That's it. That's the only single fact you need to know. It's that simple, my friend. Yeah, it's that simple. Thank you. Thank you.